Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for November 17th. November 17th is the 321st day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 322nd in leap years, with 44 days remaining to the end of the year. I'd like to take a moment to mention that links to my research are included in the show notes. Ask you to go ahead and click that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Remember that you can share this video with others by email or in your social media. And there's a link in the show notes to my This Day in History playlist where you can see all of them if you want to. And I'll try to remember to put it up in the iCards up in the corner there as well. And with that, we're going to start with the birthday of Roman Emperor Vespasian, born November 17th in the year 9. He lived to the age of 69. The Elizabethan the Elizabethan era began on November 17th, 1558, when Queen Mary I died and was succeeded by her half-sister Elizabeth I of England. Elizabeth was the daughter of Henry VIII and his second wife, Anne Boleyn. When he tired of Anne Boleyn, as he did, he cooked up some excuse to have her executed and the marriage annulled, which officially made Elizabeth illegitimate. She was only 2.5 years old at the time. But she ended up as queen anyway. Elizabeth changed a lot of things. Where some rulers were pretty rigid about such things as religion, for instance, Elizabeth was more open-minded and sympathetic to the idea of a Protestant faith. One of the first things she did as queen was to establish an English Protestant church. She was more moderate as a ruler than her predecessors had been, and one of her mottos was Video et Teseo, which means, I see, but say nothing. One can learn a lot that way, watching and keeping quiet about it. There were certainly challenges to her rulership, but she managed to hang in there, ruled for 44 years, which brought stability to the kingdom, especially after the choppy reigns of the several rulers who had preceded her. And when Elizabeth I died in 1603, Sir Walter Raleigh went on trial for treason on November 17th, 1603. Raleigh was a favorite of the Virgin Queen, and she got pretty mad when he went and married one of her ladies-in-waiting without her knowledge or permission. He had to do some timeouts over that, but managed to avoid execution as long as she was alive. When Elizabeth I died, though, they came back for him for treason, claiming that he had conspired against Elizabeth I's predecessor, James I. I don't think he did, but they said that, so. Anyway, the United States Articles of Confederation were submitted to the states for ratification on November 17, 1777. The United States Congress held its first session in Washington, D.C. on November 17, 1800. Captain Nathaniel Palmer became the first American to see Antarctica on November 17, 1820. There's a landform there called the Palmer Peninsula, named after him. Ecuador and Venezuela were separated from Gran Colombia on November 17, 1831. It was a powerful earthquake around the area of south-central Chile on November 17, 1837. So strong it caused a tsunami all the way across the Pacific Ocean, led to significant damage across Japan's coast. The city of Denver, Colorado was founded on November 17, 1858. One of the first modern serial killers, H Holmes, was arrested in Boston, Massachusetts on November 17, 1894. This is the birthday of American actor Rock Hudson, born November 17, 1925. He lived to the age of 59. This is the birthday of American director, producer, screenwriter, and actor Martin Scorsese, born November 17, 1942. Still alive, he turns 78 in 2020. This is the birthday of American model and actress Lauren Hutton, born November 17, 1943. She turns 77 in 2020. And the birthday of American actor, director, and producer Danny Devito, born November 17, 1944. He turns 76 in 2020. And the birthday of American baseball pitcher and sportscaster Tom Seaver, born November 17, 1944. He also turns 76 in 2020. On November 17, 1947, the Screen Actors Guild implemented an anti-communist loyalty pledge. This is the birthday of American drag queen, performer, actor, and singer RuPaul, born on November 17, 1960. He turns 60 in 2020. President John Kennedy dedicated the Washington Dulles International Airport on November 17, 1962. Lieutenant William Calley went on trial for the My Lai Massacre on November 17, 1970. And on November 17, 1993, the United States House of Representatives passed a resolution to establish the North American Free Trade Agreement. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something you didn't know before. I know I sure did. I always do. As always, links to my research are included in the show notes. Thanks again. Give it a like if you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with others. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.